Alright, so I've been watching this dude for quite some time now, and honestly, the more he talks, the less his points make sense. Since he wants to keep dragging this out, I thought I decided to make a rant on him. Anyways, let's get started. Now, where do I even begin? So apparently this guy made a whole reaction video to something from 5 years ago and claims that somehow I'm supposed to act like this was some life-changing moment. First of all, your lesson taught me absolutely nothing. All it showed me is that you're willing to dig through old content just to keep drama alive and pretend it's constructive criticism. I mean, if someone has to dig up old content, it stops being a real argument. People change, context changes, and if that's the way to respond to a situation, is to dig up old drama, then that is just sad and pathetic. And you also know what's funny? It's that this guy also twists what I say into some simplified version so he can argue against it easier.
Dude, enough. You're the one who brought up my past, so deal with it.
That's none of your business, Jason the YouTube guy to K5.
Oh bummer. Then, go ahead and keep commentating, you go kid.
That's a simplified version built to make me sound unreasonable so it's easier to argue against, and that's the issue. He uses straw man techniques to avoid accountability. I love how this guy tries to paint me as angry, inconsistent, defensive, all this stuff when I literally kept explaining myself and kept changing the meaning of what I said, and that whole go kids thing you said. You're acting like using that phrase automatically means I'm trying to escalate everything, but that's just you assigning intent. You're taking that and assuming it in the worst possible way, like I'm trying to insult others. But that's not how communication works. Saying something and someone deciding what I must have meant are two different things. At that point, you're not even addressing my words. You're arguing against yourself. If you really have to twist things that much, then here's a newsflash: that doesn't even make your flawed-ass point stronger, it just makes the entire conversation pointless. What this really shows is that he isn't even handling this like a man. It's distractions, resurfaced drama that has already been resolved, and rewritten versions of what was said, and that's all I have to say. If you really wanted to teach a lesson, maybe learn how to respond to what is actually happening instead of building your own version of them in your head, because right now, this whole thing just feels less like accountability and more like dragged-out commentary for attention. And that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one.